Hi everybody, I'm back updating you on my meditation challenge for the summer. So far I've only missed one day. I'm feeling pretty positive about the practice. It's doesn't come naturally to me to sit, and it doesn't come naturally to me to be able to still the mind. So these are practices that I want to develop and strengthen to help balance myself as a human being. And today I thought I'd share a little bit more about how you might want to start your meditation practice and about chanting and why we chant. And just what the primary purpose of meditation is. Yoga is an 8-limb path, and what we think of in the West, just the postures, is just one of the 8 limbs. So meditation is also one of those limbs. And so when we do yoga postures and have that more athletic bodily kinesthetic practice, that's to prepare the body to be able to sit comfortably, upright, consciously in meditation. And meditation, you may have experienced meditation naturally through other activities. It's an effortless focus or concentration of the mind. So meaning that we don't have to keep reminding ourselves to pay attention, that we become just sort of absorbed in the object of our meditation. So if you've experienced losing time when you're, running or doing art or sketching or knitting or just absorbed in something you really love doing, that sort of loss of time, that effortless absorption of the mind into one single focus, it is very similar to meditation. And it'll show you that you're capable of it. And that's a good thing to keep remembering when you're trying to sit and just still the mind, because it becomes a little more difficult then. And the thing about meditation, as I said before, so at first you have to concentrate, and the mind wants to mind, and it's going to be a little scattered, and you have to pull it back. And when you pull it back, it's like disciplining a child. You want to be really kind and compassionate with it and not critical or judgmental. So back to a sitting practice. When I arrange myself for my seated practice, feeling comfortable through the lower body, I'm feeling like the spine is tall, I'm feeling balanced right to left, especially in the sitting bones. Then I'm going to start my practice with what I call resurrection breath. So you're just going to turn your head to the left and do 2 exhales. Just clear things out. And then as you come back to center, the next inhale is the beginning of your meditation. We talked about last time using the sound of hum or hong, depending on different yoga philosophies. You may have heard or seen it differently. But your inhale and exhale, when you're really breathing diaphragmatically and the throat releases, you're going to hear a hong and a saw with the inhales and the exhales, or a hum and a saw. And you're just going to focus on that as your point of concentration. That'll hopefully be the gateway to meditation, where it's effortless eventually. I wanted to talk about that resurrection breath to start. It's kind of a nice symbol or ritual. So saying you're ready to let go of the past, be present and centered in this moment. And then chanting. So some people like to start or finish with a seed sound, a chant. And again, these can be really helpful to just absorbing the whole body, breath, mind, spirit complex into one singular purpose. And these sounds are ancient. They're said to be Om is said to be the seed sound of the universe. So when consciousness began, this is the sound that it began with. And Om is often kind of butchered into OM and just like a long O sound, Om, when we discuss it here in the West. It's actually 3 sounds, more like an AUM. So, and I'm really putting myself out on a limb here because of my sinuses and my throat, and these are kind of weak points in my body that I'm constantly working to balance and things. Chanting does not sound very melodious or wonderful coming from me. But it's an important practice for me, and so I'm just going to put it out there today, and in hopes of helping you. So when you chant Om, there's 3 sounds. Ah, the lips come together. There's a vibration. We let that vibration just hold for as long as is comfortable. They often refer to that as the bliss moment, right? When you chant these really properly, and you're breathing really properly, not popularly, you're gonna feel like you've just created just a vortex of space within yourself, and that the energy is just vibrating through you. It's really cleansing, clearing. It's hard for the mind. The mind kind of effortlessly just stills. So I'm going to show you resurrection breath and then chant Om, and just to give you sort of a vibe of whether or not you'd like to try that. Maybe it'll help you still your mind. I say try whatever you can, see what works for you. You know, maybe you don't like to practice vigorous yoga poses. Maybe you do like to sit down and try to still the mind and really find that discipline. Maybe you do a lot of singing, or play musical instruments. Then you might really be interested in chanting. So here's an Om for you. And you don't know, you can probably hear that I came out here to my favorite room, my sunroom here, to make the video today. So it wasn't the same old boring, bad lighting and gray wall. And now there's like a car alarm going off. So of course, when you're meditating, you can't always go in a cave and have perfect silence. So when things like that come up and the mind thinks about them, then you just say, well, that's just a thought. And the thought thinking this thought is just a thought, and I am not thought. All right, so here's the Om. I'm gonna clear my throat. I'm here in the Midwest. I've got a lot of allergy backup, finally clearing away, but still some congestion. So if you hear that, that's what it is. I'm going to start with the resurrection breath. So yeah, the resurrection breath, 2 exhales. Nice deep inhale all the way down into the core, touching the pelvic floor, using the diaphragm. And then the exhalation begins the chant, really coming from the deep lower navel and the gut, coming up, traveling up until we get to and the lips coming together in bliss and vibrating the whole body. Hope that's helpful. I know I feel subconscious or self-conscious about chanting because of my voice quality and because of my congestion, but it really is a helpful practice. So I do it a lot more at home. not in front of other people. Not so much in my classes, though I'd like to bring it in a little bit more. So hopefully you'll find some time to try sitting. Maybe try the resurrection breath. Maybe try Hong Sa or Om. And just kind of putting together in whatever works for you in tiny increments. Because doing just a tiny bit of these practices that increase your self-awareness and build your calm and ease your anxiety and put you more into balance, doing even 30 seconds to 1 minute of these practices a day is better than doing nothing. And the more desirable it comes to you, the more you will do it and build that practice. So, words of encouragement. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling like the world's been pretty heavy lately. A lot of struggle and conflict out there. And it's really important to have a spiritual practice that feeds you. So here's to finding yours. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And signing off here from my sunroom. In Rockford, Illinois, there's some of my art, some of my favorite things. There's my flying pig to show you that everything is possible when pigs fly, right? Namaste.